Hello everyone, this video is going to show you how to create a matching question in ExamSoft. So first you're going to want to make sure that you have the question, answers, and your tagging information. Then you're going to want to go ahead and log into ExamSoft using your Neomed email address and password for ExamSoft. Once you come to the main ExamSoft screen, you're going to want to go ahead and click on Create Questions. And then you're going to want to click on Create Fill-in-the-blank/matching. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that you write down the ID number so that way you can add it to your assessment later. Then you're going to want to save your question to the specific folder that your question relates to. So this is going to be Pharmacotherapeutics 1 in the Cardiology module. If this question is part of a group, this is where you're going to want to group it. I talk more about grouping in other videos, and then I also specifically talk about grouping in the tip sheet that you were given. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and add your tagging categories. So my topic is in Pharmacotherapeutics 1, Cardiology, and it's antiarrhythmics. And then my ACP appendix is A1CS08, so I would want to come down to the learning outcomes, external, ACPE appendix 1, scroll down until I find A1CS08 and add it. And then last, my cognitive level, scroll all the way down to the bottom, click on level of difficulty, and this is an introductory question. So once I'm done, I'll click on Done. And then again, if you need to change the weight, if it's worth more than 1 point, or if it's partial credit, this is where you're going to change that information. If you need to add a larger attachment or image, this is where you're going to attach it. Or if you need to embed it, you would do it over here. Again, I talk specifically about that in the tip sheet and how to determine whether or not you should be attaching the image or embedding it. And then now you're going to go ahead and you're going to add your question to the question stem. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it into a blank Word document so that way I can get rid of all the formatting. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this and paste it using the keyboard functions into the question stem. Again, there are a couple different ways that you can do this. You can click on the paste button and then paste the question into this box. You can right click and click on paste and the same box appears. Like I said, I like to use the keyboard function. As you can see, there's already the box created. I've never actually copied and pasted a box into ExamSoft, so I'm not sure in terms of formatting, once I would hit approve, what this box would look like. So for the sake of doing things correctly and not hoping that this turns out the way it's supposed to, what you're going to do next is you're going to want to tab down and you're going to want to click on this icon here that says Table. For every matching question, we use a table because it keeps all of the text in line and just makes it look nice and organized when the students are taking the assessment. So you would go ahead and you would pick your number of rows and columns. Your border for matching questions is always set to 0, so we don't use borders with matching questions. Any other question that you would use a table on, use your discretion, but for matching questions, we don't use borders. So once you have your table, you're going to want to go ahead, you're going to want to enter in this information. With that being said, you don't want to include the numbers if you do copy and paste it this way. So you would just simply want to include the text. But over here, you want to include the letters along with the text. Like I said, I've never copied and pasted a table into ExamSoft, so I don't know how it would look once I would hit approve. And I'm not going to hit approve on this question because this question is already in the Pharmacotherapeutics Cardiology Module Question Bank. So again, just to be on the safe side, if you do create a table in the Word document for a matching question, I would still create the table in ExamSoft and then retype the information into the ExamSoft table. Just to be on the safe side, because you just never know how it's going to look, because ExamSoft seems to be really picky when we copy and paste things from Word documents. So then once I have typed in all of my table information, we're just going to pretend like I did because this would take a while. Then I want to go ahead and I want to actually include my answers. So what I'm going to do is before the text, I'm going to add a new blank. Then I'm going to go ahead and type in my answer. So number 1 is answer D. I would do the same thing for number 2, answer E. And then the same thing for number 3, answer A. Once you have the answers entered in, you can go ahead and just delete this. And then, again, you want to delete any space that's underneath because it just makes the question longer and the students have to scroll more. And then you would just go ahead and you would hit approve. Again, I'm not going to hit approve because this question is already in the question bank. And just a reminder, you don't want to hit save. If you hit save, the question is saved as a draft and you can't use it on the assessment. So once you've hit approve and you've added all of your questions to your assessment, you can come up here and click on log out. Again, you need to make sure that you log out and don't simply just exit out of the web browser, because if you're in the assessment and you're adding questions and editing the assessment and you simply click out of the web browser, anyone else who tries to access the assessment, it will show that you're in there editing the assessment, so no one else can get into the assessment to edit it. So you just always want to make sure that you click log out. So once you've logged out, then you're good to go. And this is how you create a matching question in ExamSoft.